So today, we're getting rid of the rules, we're getting rid of all the sewing patterns, and we're just going to get ourselves some fabric, cut into them, and get sewing. We're going to have fun with something I'm going to call Freestyle Friday. So if you want to get on and find out more about today's Freestyle Friday, keep watching. In order to get your dress having the shape that mine had, you need to mark out 5 inches from the edge of your fabric, not the folded end, but the other end of it, and have your ruler going down at an angle all the way to the end of the fabric, to the hem, and then draw a line. That's in order to get the shape that this dress has. We do not want a dress that is straight all the way down. When you cut off that piece, we would need to make sure that both ends of the dress are of the same measurement. Because some part of this has been cut off at an angle, both sides would be of different lengths. So what I'm doing here is I'm measuring the length of the folded side, which would be the center front and the center back, but then I need to make sure that I have the exact same measurement on the side that has had a bit of it cut out. When I get that exact measurement, I need to mark it off and then create a curve. Create a curve in order not to have that part pointing out on the sides. So when you sew the front and the back without doing what I'm doing right now, you're going to have a pointed edge. So take your time, and you need to, if it helps, use a curved ruler to create your curve. So here we have it, the front and the back, both folded, and they're both symmetrical. Next, I'm trying to create the armhole. Now my armhole I went down about 5 inches, and you could see that I went a bit lower than 5 inches, and then I went up a bit more. So it's totally up to you how you want it to be, how high you want the dress to be or how low. So as you can see, I've marked it out, and it's basically by eye, because at the end of the day, it's Freestyle Friday. So you totally are in control when you when you do some freestyle cutting. If it helps, lean your material against your chest and look at yourself in the mirror and kind of eyeball it to know where you want your armhole to be. As you can see, I need some kind of bias tape. I need bias tape, and I need to have the ties that would go around the neckline. I really liked these different bias tapes and ribbons that I had in my stash, but I needed to make my mind up and choose one that would go nicely with the project. In the end, I chose this neutral one, and that's what I used to bind the armholes. I really liked all of these choices, but I had to make my mind up, and I chose the neutral one. I chose the stripe one for the ties as well, as you probably know already. Dresses. So here I have finished the front. I finished the armhole of the front and on the back of the dress. Next thing to do is to go ahead and fold this over. So I will first of all fold it by 1 centimeter. So here I would fold it 1 centimeter, and then I'll fold it again at 2 centimeters. So you're going to have 2 folds. First fold 1 centimeter, second fold 2 centimeters. I'll press it and take it to the sewing machine and run a stitch all the way from one end, from one end to the other. So this is coming straight from the ironing board. I have pressed it down and I'm just going to sew along. I'm going to sew along the very edge, so it's just a bit of edge stitching along the edge of this fold to secure it, and it will serve as my casing. So I have my armholes finished with bias tape. This here, the casings are all stitched up. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is finish the side seams. So sew up the side seams, finish them on the overlocker. Then I would press them open, obviously. And then I am going to hem. I'm going to hem the dress. After doing that, I'll press it, put it on the side, and move on to the strings that would go around the side, along the neckline. So since I'm working with a fabric that's been cut that hasn't been cut on a straight line, you would find that if you did a double fold, it would be really difficult to hem it, the hem, you would have folds and you'd have it would pucker up. Take it to the overlocker, overlock it, press it down using your overlocking stitch as a guide, and then hem it. My hem is, so this is I folded the hem at 1 centimeter, it's a 1 centimeter hem. Don't forget that, 1 centimeter hem. Okay, so I have turned this over twice, 1 centimeter the first time and 2 centimeters the second time, and I've got a hole here where I'm going to pass my my ties through. I've also hemmed the dress, and I overlocked it and pressed it before hemming to avoid any puckering, and I've got a nice straight and clean hem. So over here I have joined the side seams, joined both side seams and pressed them. I have also finished the raw edges. Now the next thing to do is to work out how we are going to get the ties done. Because I have decided to go with contrasting ties, I have the decision, just one decision to make. Do I want my stripes to go straight along, or do I want it along a bias? And that is my dilemma. I can't decide whether I want it to look like that or whether I want it to look like that. I am going to go with, I'll go this way. I'm going to go along this way. I might regret this, but yeah, let's go with this. So I'm going to cut out. I want it not too, I don't want it too large, so I'm going to have it this, I'm going to have this size. So I'll measure this to let you know what I'm doing. I am going with 5/8, so I want it to be 5/8 of an inch. So 5/8 of an inch, 2 lots of that, and I'm going to add 1/2 inch on this, 1/2 inch, no, that's too much, 1/4 of an inch for my seam allowance. So 5/8, 1/4, and another 5/8. So we're going to use 1 and 5/8 of an inch. I'm going to cut out that and make it as long as possible. I'm going to make them really, really long to allow me to play around with this design. Yeah, I'll make the ties long. Okay, let's get started. So I will be joining, I will join them along this way somehow, and it will join together. So I'd have 2 long, I'll have them long, very long. I need one last one. I mean, I really enjoy freestyle sewing. It takes away the pressure of getting it perfect. But what always happens is when I do freestyle, those clothes that I do freestyle end up being the best ones. It's just weird. Just taking away that pressure, you know. I think it's worth doing, you know. Sometimes you follow the rules and sometimes you break the rules. You're like, let's just do it. Do it. Okay, so I'm done with the cutting. I'm going to take it straight to my machine and create my ties. So after sewing your ties, it's time to turn it out and turn it from the wrong side to the right side. Now here's how I do it. I use this loop turner. Yeah, I fit it right in to the sewing into the ties. I push it all the way to the end because it's a very long. It's going to be a very long tie. You push it all the way inside. Okay, so yeah, when you do that, I'm going to hook this onto the edge of the tie. So I'm hooking it on now. So if you have a look, you can see me hooking it on. When I hook it, it's got a latch. There's a latch right here. So this latch, I'll make sure it closes on my way out. So I hook it on. Do it again. Hook it. And then on the way out, I'm going to prod it a little bit, the latch on the inside, and make sure that it closes on my way out. It's closed now. I can feel it. Now the next step is to make sure that this here, make sure that it gets, just watch what I'm doing, basically, watch. I don't know how to explain this. Yeah, so now I can feel it moving. So when I can feel it moving and I know it's inside now, I'll make sure I push, you know, do this pushing motion. Oh no, I can feel it ripping. So you have to, do not pull it don't pull too tight. Yeah, don't pull too hard. So now I'm going to make room for the rest of it to come through. Yeah, please try not to lose your don't lose the tiny bit that's hooked onto. No, I lost it. No. I just lost it. No. So somehow I have to hook this in. Like, no. I can't believe it. That's so bad. Okay, now. I was just about to warn you not to do this, and I've done it, haven't I? Ugh. Yeah, got it, I got it. Pull. No, I lost it again. See? It isn't, it requires a lot of, I think it's because the camera's on. Okay, let's get this through. Got it. There it is. Now I can pull it through. Just take your time. Don't rush. Do not rush. All the way. Oops, it's too tight. I'm just gonna loosen it a little bit. Loosen. And then, yeah. Oh, I know why. I think that was where I joined both fabrics. So that's a bit hard. Yeah, that is a bit of a problem area. So I'm just going to ease it through. Got it. Okay, so I got my ties now. I'm going to give it a nice press at the pressing iron. The next step now is to use this special tool called a bodkin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this through my tie through this bodkin. Some people like to use a a safety pin for this stage, but you know, whatever stage suits you, stick with it. So now I'm going to push this to secure it, and look, it won't go anywhere. Yeah, just push it out a bit, and then I'm going to pass it through my the casing that I made. Yeah, so I have enjoyed doing Freestyle Friday today, and if you did enjoy it, please let me know in the comments section. I've enjoyed doing Freestyle Friday. So here's the idea. You pass it through the casing and you will be left with a neckline looking like this. So it's totally up to you how you style it. And I do hope to share more of it on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, be sure to follow me. All right then, thank you very much for watching this. But I've enjoyed doing it, and I do hope to do more of it next time. Bye bye.